Hello. Welcome to What We Learned This Week, where we tell you what we learned this week. Nothing more complicated than that. It's pretty simple because I feel like I need to be specific. This is what we learned this week that is comic book related. That's it. We will be talking about things we learned in the comic book world. Anything else, Jacob? Am I missing something?
No, yeah, thank you for the explanation. Just so it's the
I
people got
got
the right
you.
expectations.
I got you. All right. You want to go first?
So this week what I learned was a consequence of us doing our podcast on No. We reviewed issue 1, and I learned that Hela and Thanos were romantic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I like when we were going through that, and I was going through the issue. It hit me. I had a little bit of whiplash. Like what? So
Yeah, that's funny. I didn't even think about using that one. But yeah, I have learned the same thing too this week. I didn't know that either.
late to the party. So some issues came out like 2018, 2019, and
Yeah.
apparently that's when it was first or like
Yeah.
written. So
Which I still think in comic book world is pretty new, I think.
yeah,
2019. Because it takes a while for things to get solidified and bad decisions get retconned all the time. So it's hard to
bad
keep
decision.
track a lot of the time. But yeah, no, I definitely learned that one too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Cool. Okay. The thing I learned this week, this one is a little bit older too, but I didn't really realize this at the time. There was a movie with Vin Diesel called Bloodshot based on a comic book. Based on a comic book. The movie came out in 2020, obviously during COVID, so it kind of flopped at theaters. I knew that at the time. I've heard of Bloodshot, I've heard of the comic book, I've heard of Valiant, I actually just watched it for the first time 2 or 3 days ago whenever I was seeing this. But what I did not know is that there was going to be an entire Valiant cinematic universe at the time is what they were setting up.
Mm.
So, and if you didn't know, the Valiant is just a bunch of characters. One of my favorite, Shadow Man. You can't really tell, but I got some Shadow Man comics. I like Shadow Man a lot. Bloodshot, KT, Wilfred Wiggins, just a bunch of different characters that on the surface are not as popular or familiar as Marvel or DC. Go figure. But yeah, they were trying to set up an entire cinematic universe with Bloodshot, Shadow Man, and a bunch of other characters. So in hindsight, I'm kind of glad they didn't do it because I don't think it would have been very good. But I also
Mm.
kind of wish for the timeline where we could get all those movies just so I could see what they would have looked like. Because I actually really enjoyed the Shadow Man comic book a lot when I was reading. I like the
Wow.
universe.
So
Yeah.
so in other words, I guess it's just the timing because it came out in 2020.
Yep.
Ticket
It
sales got
literally
hit.
came out,
Yeah,
I think it was like a week before the
all these
first, like.
shutdowns.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. So they really got screwed. Yeah,
Damn that.
yeah.
Oh
I know, I
yeah.
know. And the movie wasn't terrible, actually. It was I would say, pretty 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10 movie, which
Hmm.
was not great, but for a comic book movie, I would say the worst part about it, in my opinion, and I mean no disrespect, is they should have casted a lot more of a charismatic actor for Bloodshot. And I don't mean like goofy charismatic. I just mean like better at emoting. You know what I'm saying?
What you're saying is like the only thing wrong with the movie was the star
The
lead.
star of the
It's like
no,
the only
because the
thing wrong with
CGI
this.
wasn't very good either.
It's like saying
But
going to a restaurant. The restaurant was very, very good except for the food.
no, I'm look, what I'm saying to you is that I won't spoil it, even though the movie's 6 years old, but I won't spoil it. There is a twist, like maybe a little before halfway, that makes the movie way better. I will say that. It seems like a very average movie until this twist, and then it makes everything else like way more exciting, way more cool. I think like, the scenes other than the CGI and Vin Diesel are really, to me, the two parts that make it not a franchise movie. Obviously, COVID happened,
The
but it
the
was
core
good.
of the movie.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. I don't think it's that bad. I swear, if Vin Diesel would have just put in a little bit more effort, it could have been better. And if the CGI was better, but I'm not gonna stay on my soapbox because whatever.
The I just looked at him because I forgot his name, but Toby Kebbell, he's a British actor. He played like this serial killer in the movie, but he also played Doom. Yeah, in I think it was or like a younger Doom in one of the Fantastic Four. Let me see. Let me make sure I ain't lying.
Only be one of them, the one from the movies.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
he in the 2015 Fantastic Four. It was Doomed.
It was doomed.
Dad joke, dad joke. Right.
All
So
right.
that's what we learned.
Yeah, that's what we learned this week. You got anything else, Jacob?
I'm tripping over the movie was great other than the star and the CG.
I can't think of a better way to say that. It's not that bad. It's just a very wooden performance. But
No, I'm good. I'm
I
good.
will watch it
Yeah.
again.
Okay.
All right. Like, comment, share the video. Let us know if you learned anything this week about comic books because we're always up for learning new stuff about this industry, about what's going on about new comic books. So let us know. And yeah, have a good day.
Cool.